What's up guys, DuArktik with another Marvel Strike Force video, and we finally have the kit of the Shadow King, the next legendary character coming to Marvel Strike Force. So in this video we are going to take a look if this character is really legendary or not, and see what they expect us in the future. Now this character is going to be Alliance Wars and Battle World specific. Is going to have bonuses for those two game modes. And we have two new strange characters. So one of them is going to be the Ancient One. He's going to be part of this Astral team. We already theorized about that. Big shout out to all the people that guessed this guy. We don't know if you're going to take the female version or if you're going to have the female version of the MCU or the one from the comics, which is an old guy. So one of those we can expect. The second new character coming to the game is going to be Emma Frost X-Men. Now Emma Frost X-Men, she should have the X-Men tag. How different is she going to be from the Emma Frost in-game? I'm actually very curious because she does not have a lot of costumes. She always dresses the same everywhere, as you guys can see. So I'm really wondering what kind of design they are going to give to her, since they felt so hard on the old Emma Frost. So I'm really curious about that. And with her having the X-Men tags, you can expect her to have all kinds of synergies with Cyclops, Gambit, Nightcrawler, Forge, Rogue, and so on. But it's going to be a generic X-Men tag like we have with X-23. So keep that in mind. She's not going to be part of any team, just this generic tag that will synergize with some characters in-game. Okay, so with that said, let's take a look at the kit for Shadow King. And once again, this guy is going to be legendary. Astral is going to be villain, cosmic, mutant controller. I think this is what everyone was expecting. I'm not sure if it's going to global or cosmic. I think it makes more sense to be cosmic because astral plane makes more sense. And I think everything else is to be expected. Now with a speed of 125, he is not super fast, which is fine, I guess. Depends on what this new Emma Frost will do. Maybe if she'll speed up the team or slower the enemies like the other one. We'll see. Now, this character has all awakened abilities. All these abilities can be awakened, but the awakened effects are just the Battle World restrictions that you have. You can also use these restrictions in Alliance Wars. This is not particularly Alliance Wars defensive team. You can use them on defense or on offense. Of course, on defense they will have more stats, so you might prefer them on defense, but they were not designed to be on defense like we had in the past with Marauders and Young Avengers and stuff like that. So the awakened abilities are not super important, so keep that in mind. They will just give you an additional value in Alliance Wars. We're gonna start off with what? With a passive? I guess that's it. So on spawn, gain Possessed. So Possessed is going to be a new mechanic where you mind control one of your allies. This does not change anything about your character or about the Shadow King on its own. No, it's just that you get some extra effects if you have an ally to assist or an ally to mind control. And what's gonna happen is that if Shadow King is left for last, then it's gonna be without people to mind control. So that's gonna be its weakest form, if its Shadow King does not have any allies. So on spawn, gain Possessed, clear Possessed from all allies, and only one Possessed at a time. When this character or when an Astral ally has Possessed at the end of that character's turn, so they have their normal turn, they use their normal abilities, or when a non-summoned ally uses their ultimate ability. So this can happen, I guess, 2 times per match. We'll see. Attack the most injured enemy for 350 piercing damage, 50% drain, 5% health steal, and redistribute to the possessed character. So this is going to be a secondary way of healing up your characters. Is this damage going to be based on Shadow King? Is this damage going to be based on the other character? I'm not exactly sure. I think the damage is going to be based on Shadow King, but the healing and drain will go to the character that is possessed, right? We'll have to wait and see, but this is definitely an interesting mechanic. We had something like this in Heroes of the Storm, if you guys play that game, where Avatar could mind control certain characters and use specific abilities just when he's mind controlling characters. Fill the speed bar of possessed characters by 15% and clear one negative effect of the possessed character. So once again, this is going to be while the characters have their turn. So this 15% speed bar will only go for the next turn after. So keep that in mind. And you cannot switch around the possessed characters. Only after they die, you switch to a different character. Characters that have possessed cannot gain stun or trauma. This is going to be very useful if you can control which character gets possessed, which is not exactly clear. And then we have a character that has possessed dies, apply possess to a random astral ally that does not have possessed. So this is the problem, is that you have no control over this mechanic, and sometimes you want to protect one character, and you might not be protecting the character that you want, right? It's a little bit problematic, let's say, so I'm not exactly sure about this. In the Battle World and Alliance Wars, enemies cannot spawn with immunity, so this is another counter against characters with immunity. We already have characters that counter speed up, now we have counters against immunity. We also have this with Mysterio, so this is always welcome because it spices up your teams on offense. This is an offensive ability, not a defensive ability, so keep that in mind. Let's take a look at the basics. So deals damage to the primary target, applies bleeds in Battle World, it also applies blind. Like I said, all these tags that say Battle World, when you have the awakened abilities, it will also be for Alliance Wars. Apply blind, I'm not sure if this is working on the isolate attack, but it's definitely interesting. Let's say that applying blind is definitely interesting. Mind control the enemy with highest damage to attack the primary target. So this can be Mephisto or Odin or anyone else, which is quite fine. And when this character is forced to attack an ally, it will do less damage, which is great to protect your team. Now, special, we have Shadow Bolt, and this is going to be the first ability that we're going to use. Apply to evades an offense up to self and our astral allies, so not a lot of synergy here. Flip all positive effects into negative effects on primary target and adjacent targets. So this is going to be Mini Omega Red Ultimate, Mini Scarlet Witch Ultimate, but it's available on turn 1, which is great. And then we have attack primary target, apply trauma for 2 turns, ability block and defense down for 2 turns as well. But once again, this is only for the primary target. In Battle World and Alliance Wars, spread all negative effects except stun and trauma from the primary target to adjacent targets, and then it will attack all the other targets with 300% damage, and this should already include the defense down that supposedly he applies. This attack gains 500% focus and it's unavoidable, so you probably don't need to use this guy as a skirmisher. We'll see if it's gonna be the case or not, but maybe Striker, maybe Raider, to make sure we max out the piercing damage from the passive. This looks very similar to Jubilee to a degree, or to Hela, right? So I think that's going to be cool. The fact that this ability is available turn 1 is maybe great, I'm not sure. The speed 125 can be problematic for this ability, so we'll see, right? Because you only want to use this ability if you really have a lot of negative effects on your enemies, otherwise it's pretty much pointless. We'll see how it goes when you have more information about the other characters. In terms of ultimate ability, Astral Annihilation, this is a second turn ability. Reduce the duration of all negative effects on this character and each ally. So this is going to be everywhere. This is going to be even in arena. So Shadow King might be the next arena meta, and I will tell you why in a second. Any negative effects that have a duration of 0 will expire instantly. So this is going to be like Thanos Endgame clearing up the safeguard. Thanos Endgame clearing up the safeguard. This is going to be the same thing for trauma, right? So the negative effects will expire, and this will result on the negative effects clearing away. So this is actually quite great. And what's going to happen with this? is that the Shadow King will be the... It's not a soft counter, but it's like, it's not hard counter either, but it's definitely a strong counter against Mephisto. Shadow King, in my opinion, against Mephisto is definitely going to be arena meta, because like if you expire all these traumas and stuns and negative effects and so on, this guy is going to be absolutely massive, and this is where it might get some value in Alliance Wars defense, but depends, because you are really limiting yourself if you put this guy on defense. Then he's going to heal all allies, so any characters, for 20% max health, once again bringing value for arena. Copy and clear all positive effects except taunt from all enemies to self. This is also nice against Odin. Odin, when he does his special, gives a bunch of buffs, so you're gonna steal those buffs and give it to yourself, and Odin gets screwed, right? So this is another soft counter against Odin, and you have a mid counter against Mephisto. Attack all enemies for normal damage, but 550% multiplier, very big. And then in Battle World and in Alliance Wars, prolong all negative effects on the enemies by 1. This attack cannot be dodged and cannot be blocked, but it does not apply trauma, so characters like Odin will still be able to use his basic and clear these negative effects away. So overall, this is definitely an interesting character. It definitely will spice up the arena meta. Cosmic Crucible and Alliance Wars, of course, as well. But now we have a character that clears positive effects away, and now we have another character that clears negative effects away. Which is going to be the best version? We're gonna have to wait and see, but this is definitely going to spice up arena quite a lot. And if you don't have Mephisto, I mean, I'm not even sure, maybe you should skip Mephisto and get ready for this guy. But yeah, it's definitely going to spice up the arena meta. You guys let me know in the comments below what you think about Shadow King. Do you think this is a good addition to the game? What do you think about the team? Once again, the team is Shadow King, Emma Frost, X-Men, the Ancient One, Doctor Strange, the OG, and Moon Dragon. A lot of people are disappointed with how bad the Annihilators performed in Arena. So are you excited now for this major change for the Arena meta? Once again, let me know all of that in the comments below. And as always, if you like the information on these videos, make sure to share it to your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe for more Mouse Strike Force content. And I'll catch you guys later.